Hi, I'm Paul. In this video, I'm going to talk about my idea of God. I'm not religious or anything. I never have been religious. And the way I found God, I wasn't really looking for God. I just went on a journey and I discovered something, and it seemed very obvious that that was God. So my idea of God is everything. God is me and God is you. But God is everything before thoughts arise, or God is everything before descriptions or ideas, knowledge arises. So there's a story in religion of Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve was kicked out of the Garden of Eden for picking the fruit off the forbidden tree of knowledge. So then what is knowledge? So knowledge is thought, knowledge is words, descriptions, ideas. So then knowledge is memory. You see, memory is not what is. I mean, we can look at an object which is what is, a tree or something. And then we could go into our memories, past memories, knowledge of a tree. So the knowledge is man-made, words, thoughts, so therefore isn't God. It's more like a division, an ego. Ego being attachment to words or thoughts or ideas or knowledge. Being attached to knowledge is not like being attached to a tree. You see, knowledge creates a division from the tree, creates a separation, and a separation being ego, or I, self. See, if I see a tree, then the tree is what is. It's there in the present. But then when I go into knowledge, then I say, I remember seeing this tree before. I know what this tree is. Can you see there that this knowledge is not the tree, it's a separation, it's an I, my opinion, my knowledge, my memories. And that's my versus other, which is separation, division. And this division, separation, knowledge, ideas, thoughts, is not what is. It's kind of a created image, an idea of what is. And this is the same as picking the fruit off of the forbidden tree of knowledge. You see, to me, being attached to knowledge, which creates separation, is more like the being in hell. You see, Adam and Eve was kicked out of the Garden of Eden for picking the forbidden tree of knowledge, which in other words, attaching to thoughts or knowledge. So they was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, which is God, heaven, and therefore ended in hell, being attached to an ego, being attached to thoughts, ideas, knowledge. So if we're suggesting that being attached to knowledge is some other place than heaven or God, you see, in this sense, even when you're attached to knowledge, even when you're attached to your thoughts, to your memories, you're still in the Garden of Eden, you're still in heaven, in the place of God, and you still are God. But you just can't see it, because we're attached to thoughts. You see, thoughts just cloud over what is. The tree is what is. So can you be present just with the tree without having to go into memories? I believe this is a question that a lot of people ask. Is it possible? How do I do that? How do I be present without going into my memories, without attaching to thoughts or knowledge? It's a question I get asked a lot. To me, the best way of doing this is still what I say, meditation. In meditation, what we're trying to find is awareness, just the stillness of awareness, which is the present moment. It's the tree. Standing in front of a tree and observing the tree without getting attached to memories and knowledge. And remember, memories and knowledge creates a division, a separation, creates the I. So what seems to be happening when you observe a tree is you observe the tree, then instantly thoughts arise from memory of, perhaps I've seen this tree before, I know the name of this tree. Now these thoughts will arise, but the choice is whether to attach on to them thoughts or just let them be. You see, it's not so much the thoughts what are arising, what's the problem, what takes you away from the what is, it's attaching onto the thoughts. I mean, you can see it happen. When you attach onto thoughts and you drift away, you can quite literally see yourself fading away from the what is and getting caught up in thoughts, knowledge, memory. So in a sense, this is like reacting. It's reacting to your thoughts. So the idea with meditation is to try to create this space between what is and memory, or attaching on to memory and thoughts. So if you're stood there with a tree, observing the tree, try to stay there, just observing the tree. And you'll notice that thoughts arrive and perhaps you attach onto them thoughts and drift away. And then when you recognize that you've drifted away into thoughts, bring yourself back to the tree. And you can notice that there's kind of this space that when you hold yourself just with the awareness of the tree, you create a space from reacting. If you can just hold yourself there for just a few seconds before you react with the thoughts or knowledge or memory, then that few seconds is kind of a space where you just stay in presence, in awareness. And then you drift away into thoughts. Then if you bring yourself back to just the awareness of the tree, and let's say then you can hold your attention just with the awareness of the tree for perhaps 10 seconds. You've created this space of 10 seconds before drifting away into memories. And this is the idea of meditation, to try and stay present and try and create this space in presence without reacting to whatever else is happening. So a thought happens and you just let it be. Because the thought that's happening is still what is, just like the tree is what is. The difference is when you react to the thought and then you attach onto the thought or the idea, which is just knowledge or memory. So if the thoughts is still what is, then you can still observe the thoughts in the same way that you're observing the tree. And then you're still in present moment. So even observing the thoughts which are what is happening is still meditation. It's only when you drift away into these thoughts. When you do, you can quite literally see that you've drifted away from the present moment. So getting back to the original story, my idea of God is, I suppose, meditation. Being in the present moment without reacting to a thought or to something else that isn't there, to an idea, to knowledge or memory. Because all the knowledge and memory and thoughts, descriptions, ideas is all man-made. It's all ego. So just being in the present moment, observing what is, to me, is God. And therefore, I am as much God as what the tree is. And you're as much God as what the tree is. But it's only when you drift away into thought or attach to thoughts that you can't see God. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say. Thanks for listening.